It's like it's my turn.
Last fall, I was out here cleaning all of this area behind the cabins. I cut down most of the small trees and so forth. And today, what we're going to be doing, you can see Jen out there now, all of these piles of big brush, we're going to be cutting that stuff up into cookwood. But we're not going to be doing it now. So what we want to do is pull all of these branches and small trees. We're going to set them up over here. We started a little pile there. And we're going to get the tractor once we have enough. And then we're going to bring them over by the firewood shed. But for right now, there's more than enough out there to keep us busy. One could argue why we don't just cut it up out here. And all I could say is it'd be a absolute pain in the ass to cut these out here, load them up in a wagon, and try and ride it through here and pull it through the woods here. It sucks. So pulling them out in these big sections, it just makes perfect sense. Get them out of this nastiness and then cut them up. Boy, it is terribly windy today, but that doesn't mean the work's going to stop today. It's cold, it's windy, miserable, but we're going to go ahead and cut up as much of this as we can. We've got another pile around the other side here. We're going to be making some biscuit wood for our wood stove. Much of this will probably get used next season, but we're going to go ahead and cut it up, and to do so, instead of using a chainsaw, which it's going to take me forever and wear me out, I figured we'll just use the skill saw.
Hey folks, so we just got chickens, and I have been trying to find different ways to supplement their feed, and I found this little hack online somewhere, and so I want to show you what I've been doing. I have been sprouting lentils. I went and bought a bag of lentils at Walmart about a week ago, and I have been doing this for the last, this is going to be day 7 right here. That is the dry, and then I'll let you guys know exactly what I've been doing. This one here is going to get fed to the chickens later this afternoon for their little snack. So this is the first one that I started about 7 days ago. Basically what I'm doing, I go and take the dried lentils, soak them in some water, just enough to cover them, and I only put enough lentils to barely cover the bottom, but I cover them with water, put a paper towel with a little bitty rubber band to hold the cover on, and then I set them in my windowsill. After 24 hours, I'll dump the water, I'll rinse them off twice, and then I just put the lid back on them and let them sit in there just moistened. And I do that as many days as I want. This one's already sprouting. As those, these will be ready for tomorrow. And as I said, these are for today. And you can give them to them as soon as they start to sprout, but I figured the more they sprout, the better for them. Now sometimes I will rinse them off in the morning and then in the evening around dinner time, depending on how dry it is in the house. I don't want them to dry back up. You want them to stay moist. So typically I've been, especially running the wood stove, I've been doing it twice a day. Once in the morning and then once in the evening. So that way they stay good and moist. We're going to feed them later this afternoon and I will take you along with me. Shall we see how the girls like it?
What is Mama got?
Oh my goodness. All right.
What do I got?
Put this down. All right, come here, girls. Come here. Oh.
Nito.
Is it good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh my goodness, you're throwing it all over the place. Here you. Okay.
All right, so we got through this pile here. This is what's left over. We'll end up probably just burning that. Show you guys how much wood we got. So that's what we got. That is all cook wood for us for next season. Although we'll probably use, well, not probably, we are going to use some of this year. But as the temperatures get warmer, we'll move out to the outdoor kitchen, and then whatever's left in here will be used for next season. So, but I have more. I have a lot more. So we're gonna move back here. I've got this small pile here, but I have a big pile there. Got this big pile over here. All of that's got to be gone through and try and get all that cut up. Probably not today. It actually takes a lot longer than I thought. So, but at any rate, we're gonna go ahead and start working on this pile, get through this one, and then see what else we can get. It is a beautiful spring day. We are out here in the woods working, clearing out this area behind the cabin. And with spring comes a shave. Every spring I'll shave my beard off, and every fall I let it grow. So here we are. It is springtime. I've shaved, and I am really happy, actually. All right, well, enough of that. Today we are kind of picking up where we left off yesterday. We've done some wood chipping here yesterday, but it was so windy, I didn't do any filming. It's pretty windy today, but we're going to try to show you guys what we're doing here. We've got this pile that we've got to sort through. Some of the bigger stuff is going to be turned into the cook wood. All the smaller stuff we're going to go ahead and chip. We've got a couple of piles, one right there, one over here as well that we're going to get done. Try to get this place cleaned up and ready so that in a week or so we can burn it. Until then, we got to start cutting and chipping. So it is the next day. Sometimes we just have to stop filming and get some work done. And that was the case yesterday. I started off filming, which are the clips you just saw. Found out real quick, instead of just moving the camera around, that I would simply stop filming and get this done, because we really needed to get this done yesterday. And we did. Basically, all of this area here behind me is the yard that we're trying to claim, or reclaim, I should say. There is going to be a road. I'm trying to get out there now. Right here. So you can kind of see where the old skidder, when they logged our property, went through. And this road actually cuts all the way around out here to the main road that we sit on. And it goes through this way here. You can see this tree here that fell during our last winds. We'll cut that out of the way. But the plan is to have basically a loop that runs down this roadway and all the way around to the other side of the homestead. That said, now that we have this area cleaned out for the most part with all the big stuff, the next step for this area is that we're going to burn it. Now, we're not going to burn it today. We've got some other projects that we have to get done. And we do want a couple of days of sun like we have now to kind of dry the top layer out. And then, then we're going to burn it. So pretty excited about that. The other thing I'm excited about right now is that I'm walking on what will become our first trail out to the woods. So this gravel here that I added yesterday is gonna keep going into the woods, and then we'll start to make our trails through our woods here so we can get around to the other 50 plus acres that we own. All right, well, there is a project that I need to get done because it is time, and that is I'm opening up our back porch. It may not be summer yet, but just working for a few minutes in this Maine sun sure gets you hot. Time to take off the sweatshirt. So what do you think of our new flag? That's a lot bigger than the old one. This is so much nicer. Now the reason we clamped these 2x4s was so that we could screw our braces on the outside to them, and we didn't have to touch the framing of the porch. It made for a much cleaner way to do it, again, without hurting the integrity of the actual framing of our porch here. Now next year we're gonna have cedar shutters here, so it's not gonna be a big deal. But if for some reason we're not able to make the shutters in time for winter, we're gonna hold on to the plastic. We can just throw the plastic back up. Just like that, we are open for summertime. So the next thing that we're going to do is we want to go ahead and take the insulation out of these vents. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Underneath the vents, we have this insulation that we use, and now that it's summertime, we open them up, we push the insulation out of the way so that we can get some airflow underneath the cabin and get all that moisture out, that winter moisture. It's amazing when I open this up, I can just feel the cool air coming out. That's exactly what we want. All right, and there we have it. Neighbor came by. We knocked down the big cedar trees that were here. So the next step I got to do is just buck them up, get them pushed out of the way, and we'll have our space to run our fencing. Got to be honest, I was a little terrified, especially with the big one that was here. That thing would have destroyed my carport. Definitely. It was a big tree, and it would have destroyed it, but it didn't. My neighbor is really badass at this. He's done it for a lot of years, and all I can hope for is that I'm out here long enough that I can look at trees like that and have the confidence in my skills to be able to knock them down without any issues. All right, well, that's now it's cleanup time. I got all this stuff I got to get cleaned up, and we've got to get out there. I got to cut this tree down, this side of the tree, so I can clear the pathway for the fencing. So looks like I'll be doing this for a little while at least. This is why we absolutely love Maine. One of the many, many reasons.
Try to organize my mind while the world falls behind. Slow waltz around the sun. Every year reveals a change. Looking back now, feeling strange. We all learn to be someone. What happens next? What happens next? Won't pretend to know. What happens next? I heard you say